I should have done this at thingy, by the way. I don't know. Hang on. You just saw field in the background. Oh god. See, I'm the only Filipino who can't take selfies, so this is like this is embarrassing. Oh god. Oh god. See, I can't figure out. Yeah, that's
there
good.
you go.
That's good. Yeah, perfect. That's it. Correct. Correct. Football New South Wales YouTube. New South Wales YouTube. Oh, well, technically Football NSW YouTube to be specific. Yeah, just NSW YouTube. There's a live tab, so yeah, because it's not on the tab with all the posted videos, but yeah. So once you go to the page, just click on live, and it'll be up. Thank you. That's all right. Here you go. You can have this photo as well, should you wish. It's Tori's arch nemesis. I was so happy she conceded that penalty last week. That's the standard line. Drier than us. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. We're in very much the business end of the 2025 League One men's season, and we've got a sensational game here for you in Sydney's beautiful northern suburbs. We're at a dry, for now, North Turramurra recreation area, and two teams very much in the promotion race, battling for, hopefully, an ascension to NPL New South Wales. It is the hosts, Northern Tigers, up against Rydalmere Lions, two teams very much on the prowl for points. It's round 27 of 30, and it's Eric Subihano here with the commentary. Not just me as well. I'm delighted to say that I am joined by the... What season is your fifth season as the reporter for this division? Justin Smith, thanks for joining us here today. You've had a long trek up here from Sutherland, have you not?
Yeah, indeed. On public transport as well.
Yes.
Yeah, happy to be here. It's a worthy game of such a trek.
Yes, and so we do thank everyone for tuning in. Thanks for your support of League One Men's and the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. And if you're tuning in, we hope that you're warmer and drier than we are here at North Turramurra. So just to paint the picture for people who may need a reminder, courtesy of a victory in last night's game, it is the Spartans leading the league with 48 points. Northern Tigers are in 5th place, but only 3 points behind the league leaders. And the Rydalmere Lions are in 6th place on 42 points. So you would think 3 points, very much a necessity as the two teams do the pre-match formalities. Also delighted to say we've got legendary photographer Dan Ullman in attendance. He's made as I understand it, quite a trek to be here today. So thanks, Dan. But while he takes photos of both Northern Tigers and Rydalmere, let's go through the two sets of teams. Firstly, I think we'll start with the visitors, Rydalmere Lions. So in goal, number 55, James Husoy. Then number 4, Nicola Pintor. Number 6, Connor Kerr. Number 7, Adil Tosca. Number 10, Ahmad Taleb. Number 11, Dylan Kahale. Number 15, Julian Shalome. Number 23, Carl Sandy. Number 25, Marcus Sparacino. Number 34, Ryan Jom. And number 37, Robert Aramugo. And Rydalmere Lions are coached by Abassad. What a player he was, by the way. And on to the hosts we go, the football superstars from the northern suburbs. So in goal for Northern Tigers, number 1, Elliot Carwarden. Number 2, Oliver Scott. Number 4, Koya Nakano. Number 6, Cole Mutton. Number 8, Ali Brown. Number 9, Kai Denton. Number 12, Oliver Franz. Number 14, Taliesin Dorigo. Number 16, Lachlan Lloyd. Number 17, Connor Rose. And number 23, Jakub Praja. So, looks like Rydalmere will kick off attacking. They'll be attacking the goal to our left, what you might call the golf course end of North Turramurra, because there is a golf, I believe it's called the North Turramurra Golf Club, shares a driveway and parking with this facility. But right on cue, there's the whistle from the referee, Sophie Allam, and away we go. Usual kits for both. Northern Tigers in the white and green, Rydalmere in the red. Tigers thrown in their own defensive third. And Justin, we were speculating pre-game. Do we think Tigers might have a different formation to what you've seen previously?
Yeah, potentially. So, looking at the starting 11 and just on first observation looking out there at the moment, Denton looks to be lining up top by himself currently.
Yes, and that would be, different to when we, the first ever two-person call we did for Football New South Wales. That was Northern Tigers away to SD Raiders a few weeks ago. So, yes, Adam Hett possibly changing things up, Justin.
Yeah, he's just got back from his trip, hasn't he?
Yes. And, actually, we were talking, both of them been overseas recently, both head coaches, because Abassad, if you're familiar with his career, you won't be surprised to hear he's been spending time in Singapore, where he is, I'm told, very much a legend from his playing days. So, yes, such is the life of a head coach in the state leagues. Most of them aren't doing this kind of gig full-time. They've got to balance it around other things. Work back to Pintor, and out wide, that's Kahale, and Kahale can't reel it in. So the wind is behaving itself for now, as I said, but to make the picture of what it's like here, pre-game, before these two teams even were warming up, we discovered, Justin, the advertising, the field signs on the far side, we learned they're not secure at the bottom because they were flapping quite violently in the wind, were they not?
Yes, they were indeed.
As Brown chases one, and it's good positioning from Rydalmere, move helping it out for a goal kick. Just to clarify, I did mention that the team in orange that leads the league, Spartans, they are, yes, that is courtesy of last night's result. It was a 3-0 win over MacArthur Rams. So, yeah, they are top for now.
Was a good bounce back from last week for the Spartans.
Yes, so I was on the mic for that one, but this is Tigers with a shot, and it's fielded well by Husoi. So the first shot goes to the Tigers. Yes, actually, that is right. I was, I won't go into too much detail. I've had a really busy week. It took me a while to realize I was actually calling that game you were referring to that Spartans had to bounce back from, where Inter Lions defeated Spartans by 3-1. That was Friday the 1st, so like the Friday night encounter in round 26. Outside of the football, one to chase, and good speed. But then, right at the end, Rydalmere let it run out, and Adil Tosca not quite quick enough.
It is something they will look to do throughout this game, utilising the wide players.
Yes, that's definitely one to keep an eye on. And as I see us looking at them press, and it was Cole Mutton, I think, stepping past the press from Eramugo. And we'll get onto this in a moment as Husoi, good starting position, and making that ball his. But really, for Rydalmere, privately we've discussed this a lot, Justin, as that will run through to Carwarden. Amatala, very much at least in a goal-scoring sense, very much the main man for Rydalmere this season.
You say that, but he's second in their goal-scoring charts with Robert Aramugo on top. A goal ahead at this point. Noteworthy to mention that there's the top three of the Golden Boot on the field at the moment, with Kai Denton playing for Northern Tigers.
Yes. Yeah, but good to see. And for the neutrals tuning in, I hope that gives you cause to stay with us, because, decent chance of some goals here this afternoon in the northern suburbs. Rydalmere attacking on the left. And the cross does come in, but it's well dealt with by the Tigers. That was Brian Jom, trying to whip the ball in from the left-hand side for Rydalmere. Shalome runs from the back, long-range shot, which doesn't get through the crowd. Praja battling for it with the Tigers. Does it break for Talib? Does not. Mutton is sharp enough, clears it to safety, but there we go. An early, not that I was proved right, but just a little glimpse of what Ahmad Talib offers, because it was a loose ball, but yes, he was, the Rydalmere number 10 was almost onto it.
Yeah, he'll be on the end of a lot of moves this afternoon, you would expect from a Rydalmere perspective.
Yeah. And Jom, a few short options, but plenty of Tigers in the vicinity as well. Clip back to, I think that's Sparacino. Shalome signals to the players in front of him. Slightly loose touch from Sande, but then Sandy helps, or at least does block the path to goal, but it is with Nakano for the Tigers, and they aim to the far side. That was Connor Rose, I think it was. Started to run, very lightning fast player, Connor Rose. I think longer time viewers of these streams would remember him at the Wanderers Academy and at Manly, but now he's at Northern Tigers. And to your point earlier, Justin, looking to utilize speed on the flanks. Well, that's what I assume what Tigers would be hoping to do with Connor Rose when the opportunity presents itself. As that's a decent ball, and Carwarden's backing off. The cutback to Taleb. It's Oliver Scott breaking it up for now, and the offside flag is up. So, a quick shout out to the third team just to clarify, and I really hope that there hasn't been late changes since we got the list. But with the whistle in the middle, Sophie Allam, our two assistants, Blake Eastwood and Joshua Langley Fining. If you're a what do we call this? A Sydney metropolitan suburbs nerd, probably somewhat amused that someone named Eastwood is an official for a game here. Yeah, I know it's not the same association, but Eastwood is close enough to here. That's the first of many wild tangents, which Justin will have to be very patient with me about. There's a lot more to come, don't worry, as it's good technique from Lloyd. fight into pressure. As the two number 23s, they both hit the synthetic turf. Now, Ali Brown, room to turn. Connor Rose wants the ball out wide. Nakano is also overlapping down that far side. Rose is the target. Rose doesn't reach it. And what we've been fearing, Justin, that started drizzling. Yep. I'm grateful for my hooded puffer jacket. That's going to have to go on now. I reckon that's staying on for the rest of the game. 0-0 here in the 8th minute. North Taramara between Northern Tigers and Rydalmere Lions. 5th versus 6th, but two teams still with a great chance of what they would perceive to be a great chance of finishing either top of the league, which would be automatically, okay, I've got to get my wording right, automatically eligible for promotion to NPL, New South Wales Men's.
It's also worth noting that Northern Tigers have that game in hand on
They
Tuesday
do.
night.
Oh, now, could be, Huso almost lost out to Ali Brown as he tried to play it out from back, then he decided for the ultimate safety first play, kicking it onto the waterlogged grass field. That's beyond the synthetic field as we look at things. But yes, that's right. Northern Tigers do have a game in hand. And as you'd expect, with the recent weather, there's going to be a lot of catch-up games, so we might as well talk about this one now as soon as I can get the details. But I believe, Justin, you were referring to Tuesday, 12th of August, 7:30 p.m. Northern Tigers are away to Bonnyrigg White Eagles. As the long throw comes in, Pintura got his head to it first. They've just about gotten it out of the box. Tigers trying to put the pressure on, and the flag is up. The flag's up. But I think... Oh, nope. Sophie Allen will eventually hold the play. But, yes, actually, feels like yesterday, because now that I'm reminded by Northern Tigers being away to Bonnyrigg, that is the first ever game I called for Football New South Wales 5 years ago. And it was raining that night as well. So some things don't change. Husoi now has waved everyone up, so he's going to go for distance off the restart. Now, there's action at the Bonnyrigg Sports Club right now, Justin, you were telling me. And as Nakano plays into touch, might as well see if I can trouble you for a quick update from events from Bonnyrigg Sports Club. Bonnyrigg versus Harcoa. And it is Bonnyrigg leading Harcoa by 2-1, about the 65th minute. Oh, I love Football 24, the live score app. It's just, as Justin would know as League One men's reporter, and I would know it as his predecessor, it makes your job so much easier in terms of framing initial questions to teams and various things.
Yeah, also helpful at this time of the season with the promotion race going on.
Oh, yeah, yes.
And it changes every week, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It's good. It does also have a live table, although, as we won't go into this, that live table not quite accurate for League One men's, or indeed for NPL men's. Anyway. Praja does control it under pressure, but it's Sandy and then Shalome. Now Eramugo can't find Taleb. Now, I think Tigers will set it with that back, well, at least as it looks now, back three. Nakano, Mutton, and Oliver Scott. Back to Carwarden, and then left to Nakano.
Very much looks like both sides are set up to face each other with this Rydalmere back three out of possession.
Yes, thank you. That's the tactical insight I don't have the ability to provide. That's why you're here, Justin. And I suppose that's, given how big and how high the stakes are for these two sides, perhaps not surprising that both coaches have set up with the other team in mind. Mutton will try longer. Tigers want a decision, which they're not going to get. So Husoi will reel it in under absolutely no pressure. Will I have enough time to go through the full table? Because as Rydalmere play it out from back, just to complete that picture, and noting that the league leader Spartans at 48 points have already played their game for this weekend. So second, UNSW, 47 points. Third, SD Raiders, 46 points. Fourth, Newcastle Jets, 45 points. Fifth, Northern Tigers, 45 points. And with those games in hand, as I said earlier, 2 games in hand for the Tigers over Spartans, 1 game in hand on the others in the top half. 6th, Rydalmere Lions, 42 points. 7th, Bulls FC Academy 41 points. And I think we were discussing this last week, Justin. Interline's 8th on 38 points, so you'd think that they're out of the running, but they were in the. They could have been if they'd been, I think, unlucky with injuries, was it? Or just a drop off?
Yeah, numerous injuries at the same time as opposed to throughout the season.
Yeah, So they. I mean, I'm delighted to be covering a promotion race for 2 spots, which has 7 teams. Could have been 8. Could have been half the league, with 4 rounds to go in the promotion race. But that.
Well, a month ago it was 8 teams basically fighting for it.
That's why stuff like that's why Justin and I love the men's second tier of New South Wales football. As that could sneak through all the way to John, it does not, because France gets the toe in there. And John will consider a throw in, as we got one spectator who's looked at the Bureau of Meteorology website on the far side at least with their umbrella. Yep, that's actually, there's a few umbrellas. There'll be more, I suspect. I fear before the end of this fixture. Played back, Sparacino. Now John. Talib. Tigers very keen to press Talib quickly. Understandable given how many goals he scored this season. Touch off Rydalmere leads to a throw for Northern Tigers. Rydalmere shouting the pressing instructions from the back, but it's Tigers with the ball. Mutton thought about a longer pass. Instead he goes short to Nakano. Now, it's a bit longer. Brown is chasing it. So is Pintor. Pintor appeared to have the position. Brown hasn't given up, but that's excellent defending. And excellent example of the art of shepherding by Nicola Pintor. Bit of good sporting behaviour between Brown and Pintor as well, because Brown did hit the synthetic turf, but, no hard feelings. The touch of the palms. Hussoy. Again. As Hussoy goes long, off a Tiger's head, then as Tosca, I think it was, trying to play it forward, and it's boom to safety. Most of the teams I see, they at least start trying to play out from the back, and then maybe they assess later on. But Rydalmere gone the other way, at least for now, with Hussoy bombing it long.
Yeah, well, we've seen their eagerness to press in the early stages as well, so they probably are going to rely on that a bit more today. And they've also got the wind at their back in this first half when it does gusts.
Yes, that's a very good point. And Rydalmere now in possession at the back. I've looked at those clouds in the distance. I'm praying they stay in the distance instead of getting any closer. Now, choosing the far side, the visitors, but Touchworth touches off Tigers. So now, Rydalmere with a chance to set camp in opposition territory. 16th minute here at North Taramara Recreation Area. 0-0 between Northern Tigers and Rydalmere Lions. Eric Subihano calling with Justin Smith for the League One men's match of the round.
Safe to say it's not our first rodeo at this venue either.
Correct. I've got another old man story to tell, because I do remember us and the camera operator for today, Daniela, is doing a fine job as always. We're on the famous little mound at North Taramara Recreation Area. I remember when there wasn't a mound. So pitch level was your only option. So now Aramugo to Talib and the return ball. Sees the number 37. Who'll cut inside, looking for a teammate. The shot is coming in. It's just over the bar. First chance for the visitors. I think that's Kahale with a powerful effort. Goes just over. And while Justin Smith, I suspect, is writing notes for his review, which you can read tomorrow evening on the Football New South Wales League's social media platforms, on the Facebook page. It's as you've done. I never did a 30-round season, and I'm grateful for people like you because I don't know that I don't know that I've got the capacity for it, to be honest.
Yeah, it becomes a struggle during these final weeks,
Yes.
with particularly previewing the action. But
Yes. Rydalmere win it high. That's what you talked about, Justin. Could have been a free header for Tosca. Still might get a chance. And Tosca, in the end, from close range, pouncing on the loose ball, but firing wide of the target, stays 0-0 between Northern Tigers and Rydalmere.
yeah, it is a strength of this Rydalmere side, finding teammates in the 18-yard box.
Yes. And so that does work. That does work with what you said earlier about them looking to utilize the wide areas, Justin. Well, that's not that useful if you can't find the teammates in the middle at the end of it. So that's why Rydalmere have had an excellent season. 6 doesn't really. Sorry to cut you off. 6 doesn't do it justice.
Yeah. But they are the second top goal scorers in the division this year with 55 goals.
Yes.
So that's
And
one of the only sides to average over 2 goals a game at this point.
Yeah. As it's Tosca closing down Lachlan Lloyd. He'll be a key player, and if you're familiar with this division, feels like Lachlan Lloyd's not that old, but he's been like a fixture in that Tigers midfield, seems like forever, as 23, is that number 23 and number 23 crime, I think. Praja fouling Sandy, but yes.
He's very much a player, Lloyd, who you can build around your
Yes.
team around.
Yeah.
That's been the case at Tigers for
Yes.
years now.
Yes, you can see they're able to fire the ball into him when they play it from the back, even if he's under pressure. Lachlan Lloyd does chip in with the goals from time to time, and most notably, a hat-trick in that round 7 Australia Cup qualifier here at North Taramara, where Northern Tigers defeated Hills United. I think it was 4-1 to secure their first ever Australia Cup round of 32 appearance. And it is Lloyd looking down the line. One for Denton to chase. Denton is followed by Shalome. Stumble. And goal kick. Now, so
He's a defender's nightmare, isn't he?
yes,
And he just gets through a lot of work
yes,
leading that line.
yes, and the rare, as we've seen already, the rare high goal scorer long throw expert combo.
Yeah.
Do not see that too often.
But you'd also suggest he's got quite a few assists this season.
Yes,
Because he's getting in wide areas a lot. Making that channel run.
Jom under heavy pressure. And then, I think that might have been France possibly. Yeah, France playing it back to the keeper so they can start again. Oh, there's other fixtures that Justin will cover in the League One men's review for round 27, which you'll be able to see tomorrow night on the Football New South Wales League's Facebook page. So, trust me, I did write this down and I've forgotten where they were. That's not very good of me. But yes, the last night's game between Spartans and MacArthur. There's a as I said earlier, a 3 p.m. kickoff in this division between Bonnyrigg and Harcoa. Also, the game scheduled for 5 p.m. today. Canterbury, as Carwood's got to scramble. That's a corner, but I'll get through the rest of these fixtures. The 5 p.m. game today, Canterbury versus UNSW. And if you're wondering who are Canterbury, yeah, Berries. We still call them Berries, despite the fact that word's no longer in their official name. And the rest of the game scheduled for 7 p.m. tonight. Bulls versus SD Raiders, that's a big one. Hills United versus Dulwich Hill. Newcastle Jets versus Bankstown City. And Interlions versus Mounties. So we can see the scoreboard in the distance. Rydalmere trying to change the scoreboard with this set piece. Outswinger. Good header from Scott. And the shot, trying to control the volley. I think that was Connor Kerr. Might have a second go, but perhaps he should have had a second go instead of passing because it's been given away. And Elliot Carwarden very keen for his teammates to step up. So I like taking people behind the curtain. I've been so scared of the wet weather that I've decided there's no notebook, not for today. It's a bunch of screenshots on my phone, and I will flick through them as necessary. That's and to those of you who say I never write notes, that's not necessary. But it's actually...
We should clarify, you don't write notes to about an hour before.
Yeah, look, you don't need them until the stream starts. It doesn't matter. No one can tell if you turn up to the ground with an empty notebook. That's... Now, Praja has a little bit of room. He'll aim towards Connor Rose, but that's way too straight. So, Flagging... Because, yeah, there's midweek streams as well, so, I mean, I'll talk about, might take the chance to talk about the rest of the streams you can watch this weekend on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel a bit later, but what have we got? Just trying to see what's actually streamed. Oh, yeah, that's right. So, in NPL Men's, Wednesday, 13th of August, so Blacktown City, the club some people would call the Pride of Western Sydney, they're travelling to Odense Park, 7 p.m. kickoff. 8 p.m. kickoff on Wednesday the 13th. Central Coast Mariners hosting very much in inverted commas. Marconi Stallions at the Palace Marconi Stadium. Yes, the recent weather that's hit the Central Coast, I do believe, much harder than it has the Sydney metropolitan area. So, thank you to Marconi for offering to host so that game can be played, as that's worked back. And Pintour playing it forward. That Mariners Marconi could be a very important one in the NPL men's relegation race, with the Mariners Academy very much in that. Then other midweek football. Yes. Oh, I've been refreshing the dribble app every day looking for this particular game, but also Wednesday 13th of August from, I believe it's Poppendata Park, Mount Druitt Town Rangers hosting University of New South Wales in NPL Women's. And actually, Justin, you asked a great question pre-game, because that was stopped due to lightning. Do they have to go back to the start? I don't know off the top of my head if it's been more than 14 days. So, well, we'll see, I suppose. As it's back to Husoi. Husoi might be a little bit too long, so keeper-to-keeper action here. As we're ticking about the 24-minute mark. Still goalless between Northern Tigers and Rydalmere Lions. Justin, you were telling me in the pre-game, you've spoken about Rydalmere's attack already, but this one very much the classic battle of attack versus defence, because Northern Tigers very good defensively this year.
Yeah, only conceded 29 goals in recent times. Actually, 5 of them came against Rydalmere in their first meeting. Yes.
You have to say, that's 29 conceded in 25, and 5 of them in one game. So you could... Tigers, you'd imagine, be treating that one as an outlier. So, yeah. It's as I've been tracking this division for quite years, in this division, it's quite good if you're at about conceding about a goal per game. It does give you a great chance of success. As Rydalmere gently stepping up, but not pressing to their fullest, as the floodlights have been switched on here at North Turramurra. Good run from Cole Mutton, and he finds Praja on the left touchline. Played to Denton. Denton hits the deck, and it's a free kick. Probably too long range to have a direct shot at goal. But nevertheless, all Rydalmere folk heading to their own box.
They have got a very good set piece taker in Nakano.
Yes.
The Tigers.
And right on cue. It is Koya Nakano over the set piece. There's 2 in the wall for Rydalmere. It's up and straight. Too close.
Commentator's curse there.
Yes, good old. That's it. That's our KPI met for this game. Well, actually, I mean, that's your commentator's curse. Mine hasn't happened yet. Header from Mutton, and he cushions it nicely for Nakano. Now, bounce to Praja. Strong win by Sandy. Now, can Rydalmere pounce? No, they were trying to get the passing done quickly before Tigers were set, but it has been given away. Now it's Scott with room to run. Now, dink ball. Jom should be the favourite for that, and he goes back to Husoi. I love a technically gifted keeper, but not that this is necessarily a reflection of Husoi's overall game. I like what I've seen so far. He's like the keepers from my childhood. He's just kicking it long every time he gets it. I like that. And it's Husoi aiming for Eramugo. Flicks off Rose for a Rydalmere throw in Tiger's territory.
You do wonder if that changing keeper in recent weeks has been a tactical tweak of such.
That's right, because actually, thank you for that. I should go through the subs. Well, there, but we might as well start with Rydalmere because their backup keeper is
great
the highly talented Ricardo Rizzo. So that's it. I mean, if there's something untoward happening to James Husoi, Ricardo Rizzo, a very capable shot stopper with a lot of NPL experience, as the rain has, it's definitely hit North Taramara now. Rydalmere's other subs, Charlie Hildebrand, Sahuk Yang, Isaac Cunningham, Omar Gabriel, and Amponsa Anshui. On the Tigers bench, the backup keeper is Matteo Scali, the others Nick Petrillo, Ryan Attard, Lachlan Mills, Tiger Kawano, and Aidan Gardner. I'd better close this this backpack as Tigers looking to attack with Lloyd. Yeah. Now Ali Brown, space to shoot, takes a touch, and
takes a touch of his teammate.
Yes, so
all the way through.
Just bear with me. I'm trying to do what I can to protect our equipment and my backpack from this rain. My backpack just finished drying out from NRLW Magic Round in Newcastle last weekend. Oh no! At least I didn't spend that much money on it, but as it's Brown going backwards, Nakano. Mutton, Rydalmere doing their best to cut off the angles as the Tigers remain patient. Getting close to the half-hour mark here in North Taramara. Now it's over Franz. John with the header, and that's Praja finding Lloyd, and Lloyd trying to release Denton. Now ball in, away by Pintor. And that's Kerr for Rydalmere, and a strong tackle in the center of the field. But it is Oliver Scott just leaving it. I think that...
You definitely call it a measured press from Rydalmere.
Yeah, that's right.
Like
so
daring them to play that longer ball, the risky pass.
That's right. So it's not a full... It's not what I would call a full Bielsa press, that's for sure. But something I like how Abasada set them up without the ball. That I'd say it's almost like they're giving the opponents a conundrum. They're like forcing them into tricky. It's a tricky decision making. Well, that's what they're trying to do. Now Carwarden and could get a little bit tangled up. And Tosca has pressed and scored for Rydalmere. So there it is. The opening goal goes to the visitors, and that pressure has paid off. So it's Northern Tigers 0, Rydalmere 1. Adil Tosca had read the play perfectly, and he has rolled home the opener, Justin.
Yeah, really about taking that moment, wasn't it? And it was, I'm not sure it was even a shot. It was just a tackle which turned into a
just
shot.
like it. I mean, it's definitely his.
Yeah.
Very confident it's come off him last. And you know what? Pressing, we discussed, pressing, obviously, it's about more than one person. You got to credit Robert Aramugo, because he's... like the way I saw it, he kind of he pressed from a particular direction to press the ball towards a teammate. And perhaps not quite what Rydalmere were expecting, but it's the result they wanted. And they've drawn first blood here at North Taramara.
Yeah, it's worth noting the Tigers' goalkeeping situation with Bodie Denton suspended for this one.
Yes.
Hence Carwadine back in his side.
Yes. Carwarden, I mean, I don't want to call him a veteran because he's not really old enough to be called that, but he's been in this division for a long time. He was starting as a teenager, actually started first grade as a teenager with both Tigers and Western Sydney Wanderers Academy. Now I think that's a Tigers set piece. And yes, the grateful for these floodlights because just strain my eyes to assess this. And Tigers with a quick chance to hit back after conceding. And so Nakano over the dead ball, 2 in the wall once again, set by James Husoi. There's that wind. Anyway, Nakano puts it in, and Husoi, the ball evades Husoi. The wind might have even been pushing it away from the Rydalmere shot stopper. Franz, can he whip it back in? Cross takes a touch off Rydalmere, so it is a corner. Yeah. That's... So I'm sure you can hear that wind through our mics. And if you're wondering, is it like this at North Taramara all the time? No, not all the time, just most of the time.
This ground does have an appropriate nickname for times like this.
The North Pole?
Appropriate nickname for times like this.
Yeah, the North Pole, isn't it? Oh, the coldest place on Earth, that's right. As the corner comes in, players taking tumble all over the place. The result is another corner. Yes. That's, actually, yes, because you told me this story. It was called the coldest place on Earth by someone who grew up in Scotland. So if that's who called it, if that's who gave it that moniker, yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Another corner aimed at the far post. Husoi's up, but a header instead from Rydalmere. And as Nakano plays it forward, the ball getting towards the byline. Praja did not keep it in at the end of that. Justin, would you call this proper football weather? It's a winter sport. Don't let the A-Leagues fool you. It is a winter sport.
Yeah, not even sure this is north of England like, to be honest.
This is oil rig in the North Sea weather at the moment. Now Mutton will retrieve it near the corner flag, back to Carwarden. And to tell you what, well, Rydalmere do have the win in the first half, but you did point that out, Justin. James Husoi's approach in the second half with the ball. Well, let's see if he changes it. Now, the aerial ball is going to be tricky in these conditions, but nevertheless, Praja is on the money for Rose, and then Rose has very much overhit that ball. Husoi looking to utilize that wind, although actually, no, that's I was wondering. It's still favouring Rydalmere. It's not a crosswind as the players are seeing it. Well, not yet anyway. Plenty of time for that to change, and that too much of that wind that time. So it goes to Carwarden, who will roll it out.
Yeah, the conditions of the pitch become trickier as well as it slides off at the ball.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Yes, of course, synthetic pitches, excellent drainage, but there'll always be that surface, there'll always be that water on the surface to kind of reduce the friction, make the ball skid off it more. Header from Franz. And now with Rydalmere as the Tigers pressing, but Rydalmere can play it forward to Tosca. The first goal scorer of today. He crosses from the left, and he couldn't quite find Aramugo. That is a great run from Aramugo. As it's come in, he's right in the center of the 6-yard box. That's exactly what wide players want from their teammates. Kerr. And so if I hesitate a bit briefly, possibly the dugouts might be blocking my view of whoever has the ball. Yes, but hey, at least we have this little mound, though, as I said earlier. Oh, wind is easing off slightly, which is I'm grateful for this. But it's okay, everyone at home. I've had it much worse than this. Imagine torrential rain and you're set to call on the scary tower at the Bonnyrigg Sports Club. Never again. Back heel from Eramugo, and now they're looking direct to Tosca, but should get away from him. He's going to make something of it, Tosca, but in the end, there's a shepherd there. Carwarden has used the body well.
There's always an option for Rydalmere making that run for that ball and behind.
Yes. It's what you said. They're quick, so a lot of these longer passes, they look like they're going long, but then players like Tosca making something of them a lot of the time. Good turn from Lloyd, and a good ball as well. Now, it's the Rigo to Brown. Now, Nakano's got to hurry because the pressure's coming. Steps around an opponent. Finds Connor Rose. Left side for Tigers, low ball, and it's deflected behind. I think off Pintor for a corner. Yes, by the way, off frame, there's teamwork in front of us. People sharing umbrellas, yes, good. Good to see collaboration in all walks of life. So, in-swinger coming up. Decent ball and blocked, I think is the word, by Hussoy. He might have had his vision impeded, to be fair, but Rydalmere do clear the danger. Half-time approaching, 39th minute here, and it's Adil Tosca's goal on about the half-hour mark, which separates the sides. Rydalmere Lions leading Northern Tigers by a 0-0. One for Rose to chase. He's followed by Sanday, I think. Now, decent ball to Lloyd, and Lloyd to the byline, and over the byline. Rydalmere goal kick. Oh, is there okay, no, actually, I thought you were looking at the live score. I'll look at the live score app, because now I'm curious as to oh no, not quite full time. At Bonnyrigg Sports Club, Bonnyrigg still leading Hakoa by 2-1. As a plane flies overhead. There's a lot of venues like this where you could see planes flying overhead. The Arctic Circle, the famous Arctic Circle, home of the NPL Men's New South Wales League leaders, Spirit FC. Illington Sports Centre, Barton Park.
I was going to say
Fraser Park.
Very
much Fraser Park. Yes.
The transport triangle.
The transport triangle. Fraser Park. It's not on the flight path, it's on the runway. And again, by the way, shout out to Megan who's tuning in, but also it was Megan telling us, a friend of us both, Fraser Park, it finally has seats. Hooray! And seats, I think it's someone we also know, Tom, who clocked straight away. Those seats are from the old Penrith Stadium. So, those seats have had quite a journey.
I think I was the first one to notice that, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, you can argue with that with Tom. Now, cross comes in from the left, and that's a great header. I think that was Sparacino. I'm in the... Well, it's possibly a little bit of a lull with Rydalmere sitting deep for now. But Tigers looking to raise the tempo. The return ball, not what Brown wanted. Taleb with the ball. Tosca's gotten behind. He'll run at Scott. Eramugo in the middle. And the cross is about head height, but through the 6-yard box and out the other side. Connor Rose retrieving for the Tigers. That's a good anticipation from Shalome. But Tigers ball. And then Nakano, great turn to evade the press. Dorigo. Okay, and while I'd be a good company man once again, just one of the streams coming up, it's the League One Women's match of the round tomorrow. Could be a big one for the women of the Hills, as Hills United with a chance to seal the League One Women's Premiership, the league title for the women's second tier, if they defeat Central Coast Mariners, 5:30 p.m. tomorrow at Valentine Sports Park. That is very obviously a foul. With the weather we've had recently, given the Valentine Sports Park nickname the Wind Tunnel, yes, I love calling a Hills United women's game. Not that bothered about not calling the one tomorrow, to be honest, because that bit they filmed from at the top of the stand is that's very thank you. I think it was Alexander Molchanov that coined that nickname. That's who I first heard it from, and it's very wind tunnely, the filming position at Football New South Wales headquarters. I will be there though, as that is going to hit the fence behind the goal that the Tigers are defending. So you're quite the analytical person, Justin. So one of the things you like to ask yourself, where's the next goal coming from? So as we approach half-time, what do you think is the most likely route back into the game for Northern Tigers?
It's a good question, Eric. At this point, chances have been limited for the Tigers.
Yes.
Probably looking at almost a second phase of a set piece, I would suggest.
Actually, especially if it's gusting at the time of
like
set piece.
Like a quick throw or when the defence isn't set and something like that.
Yes, but plenty of things for both Abbassad and Adam Het to consider at the half-time break. It's going to be half-time soon here, and Rydalmere with the advantage, but plenty of football still to be played here at North Tarahumara. Taleb looking for Aramugo, who does not get the decision.
Tigers also do have options on their bench to bring on in this situation, like Kawano.
Yes, Tiger Kawano. You rate you liked what Tiger Kawano did last season at Berries.
Yeah,
you did. I thought about calling them Canterbury, then I just decided against it. But yeah, so Tiger Kawano moving in the mid-season registration window. He started this season with Manly United. In fact, right in front of us, is that not Tiger Kawano? Looking at the laminate, the folder full of laminated sheets. Okay, so think we know what might be happening at the start of the second half, but there's a couple of minutes in this one first, and Tosca with the good pressure blocking the path forward as Scott tried to advance the ball.
Well, the question is 15 minutes long enough to warm up in these conditions?
Is 45 minutes long enough, to be honest? I did... I arrived here without my long johns, but it was like 45 minutes before kickoff, and I was thinking, I've got to put these on. This is, which I mean, to be honest, I've been here many times. I should have put them on when I left the house. I think that might be Kahale. Yes, it was Kahale. He looked for Aramugo, but it's Rose trying to take it the other way, and then good work from Shalome, far side. Do apologize in advance if I misidentify a player. The camera zooms in, my eyes don't. But it's Scott. Long. Pintor gets the first header. Denton trying to make something of it. Still Denton. And then Pintor in the end.
Some great defending there.
Yes. Yep. Oh. A number 4 defending well. Love to see that. That's great for me personally. Long throw coming up. So all hands on deck for Rydalmere. We're in first half stoppage time. Aims at the near post. Nakano lays it off. The shot is deflected behind off Kerr, I think. Decent corner count for the Tigers in the first half, but yet off that, at least as of yet, nothing to really properly trouble James Huso in the Rydalmere goal. But it's another chance from the flag. That's a crowded 6-yard box. It's low. And another corner. I think that's Lloyd taking it. I think I just about see an armband. Higher delivery this time. It's over the keeper and headed at the back post. And that is that. A case of so far so good for Abbasad's men, because it's Rydalmere Lions leading Northern Tigers by 1-0 as the teams look for whatever shelter they can from these conditions here at North Tarahumara. It's Adil Tosca who helped his team. Well, he was Rydalmere pressing high, and he got the final touch to put his team in front. And Justin, your thoughts on this opening 45 minutes?
Yeah, well, it's a cat amongst the pigeons again in this
Again.
division. Yeah, with probably the underdogs for this one, Rydalmere.
Yeah.
Coming in, looking good for their 3 points at this stage.
Yes, so they are looking good, but 45 minutes is a long time in football. That's what's facing us here. Eric Subihano on the commentary for the League One Men's Match of the Round with Justin Smith, the League One Men's reporter. We'll take a break of about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back for the second half. Welcome back to the second half of our League One men's coverage, the match of the round for round 27. It's an opening 45 minutes that Rydalmere Lions can take plenty of pride in because they're leading by a goal to nil over Northern Tigers, courtesy of Adil Tosca's 9th of the season. Justin Smith tells me, because he's the one that does research. I'm just the talker. But anyway, we have been speculating over how Tigers might change their approach as they try to get back into this game. And actually, I have just remembered no fourth official in this division. We do need to be paying possibly a bit more attention to the shirt numbers out there. But as the last of the assistant coaches make their way to the technical areas, it's stopwatches at the ready because the second half is about to get underway. Now I'm really paying attention because there's the whistle from Sophie Allen. Yep, number 18, Tiger Kawano, is on for Northern Tigers. Now the next bit for me, who's come off? I just might have to do a bit of process of elimination, but the play we spoke about as the decision has gone in favour of Rydalmere. The player we spoke about, Tiger Kawano, is the first player off the bench selected by Adam Hett. Tigers starting this one with some high pressing intent. Rydalmere forced backwards to their own defensive corner flag, and they go safety first. So a little win. And they look like they're preparing for a long throw. I feel like we might see a lot of this in the second half as it's hurled into the middle. Scott was the closest Tiger to it. Instead, it's off Jom for a corner. And Nakano is across to take it. So we'll go with Connor Rose as the player that was being withdrawn at halftime. Thank you, Justin. But first, this corner, James Hussoy urging those players in red to be alert. Nakano signals. Aimed near post, and it's gone all the way in. It's an Olympico for Northern Tigers, and they've equalised. It's 1-1. What a delivery from Koy Nakano. Absolutely magnificent. And Justin, you said the wind, when it blew in the first half, it was blowing to our left. So Tigers have used those kind of conditions immediately.
Yeah, I almost made the comment in the first half that it becomes a bit like a direct free kick, doesn't it, a corner? And we saw that right there.
Yes. What a delivery. You said it, Justin. What's the opposite of a commentator's curse? Because you talked about his set-piece ability. Koya Nakano has delivered, literally, from the flag, straight in. And Olympico, a goal direct from a corner. And it's Northern Tigers 1, Rydalmere Lions 1. Justin, you did notice this. It did look like there were some people that the conditions were too much for them. Apparently they left the ground. Well, they missed a spectacular goal, but hopefully someone tells them so they can watch it back on the stream, because as it's Tigers playing it out from the back. And Hussoy out of his area to play it forward. Flying header from Kawano, but that will go straight to Hussoy. So there we go. I mean, I'm pretty confident that wasn't explicitly the plan from Adam Hett, but they'll take it. And long Hussoy up again. Well,
could argue for both goals weren't explicitly the plan.
Yeah,
but
that's correct. Nakano, nice header, directing it to Kawano. Now that's... See, all these things I'd planned questions to ask you were based on the score staying 1-0 for a decent amount of time. That hasn't happened, so now I've got to think on the fly. But I suppose, well, Tigers still, it's been exactly what they would have wanted. It's basically most of the, admittedly, small part of the second half so far, about 3.5 minutes, being played in Rydalmere territory.
Yeah, but it looks more like a like-for-like change with Kawano taking up this wing-back role on the left.
And he's looking up, didn't go direct. Nakano, Brown now, Brown sliding one through to Kawano. Little clip into the middle. And Rydalmere don't quite clear it. Can they get the shot away? They do through Praja. It's deflected behind. Yet another corner kick coming up for Northern Tigers. Well, this won't be Nakano because he's left-footed and this favours the right-footer. So the Tigers skipper, Lachlan Lloyd, will be across to take it. Oh, Lloyd, 2 hands in the air. And the delivery, it's swinging in, and it wasn't too far away from that crossbar, the far side, the angle of the crossbar on the far post. Tigers player took a tumble as well, but it is a goal kick. By the way, opposite the commentator's curse says Rydalmere. Well, playing. Oh, look at this, playing out from the back in the second half. So I think that's another big tick for Justin Smith's analysis. They'll go through to Husoi because the approach is basically the polar opposite to what they did in the first half.
In polar conditions.
Yeah, North Pole, South Pole, whatever. It's so cold. I may need to put the gloves on by the end of this game. Aramugo plays it back. I think that's Kahale. Plays the ball over Kawano. Now Aramugo supporting on the near side as we look at it. So Kawano's got some defending to do. So does Mutton, and he sent that into the car park. Ah, yes, that's one for your North Taramara Recreation Area bingo card. So, actually, having known that, I did take a risk parking as close to the ground as I did. Now, sub to come on. Ah, yes. Good to have a second set of eyes.
It's Kahale off and Antwi on.
Yes. So that is... Yeah, so number 28, Amponsa Antwi, is on for number 11, Dylan Kahale. Now, Scott could have got tangled up. He's done well in the end to get past a couple of players. Wins the free kick as he tries to run it out from the back. So changes being made. And actually there's just something that needs to be sorting. It needs a little bit of sorting out. So, yeah, we'll have to... As some local kids do try to encourage the opposite of what we want. Yes, this will be a bit of sorting out to do, and a yellow card. You don't put yellow cards in your report, do you? Because you don't. Yeah. Okay. Good. Because that's that was always I just dreaded that when there was like a difficult to see yellow card when I was a reporter. But yeah, it's good. It'll be all up on dribble if you want to know who it was anyway. But the situation has been diffused. Now, I might just shout out... Actually, I'll go to the live score app. Let's see what's going on here. So Bonnyrigg White Eagles did win 2-1 over Hakoa in the 3 p.m. game. And in the 5 p.m. game, 25 minutes played at Jensen Park. And it's Berries 0, University of New South Wales 0. Also, other live scores, well. It's at Seymour Shore, this is the result that the home side has been needing for some time. 70 minutes played at Seymour Shore, Sutherland 3, Sydney FC 0. And in the 5 p.m. games, approaching the half-hour mark, goalless between Mount Druitt Town Rangers and Wollongong Wolves, also goalless between Wanderers Academy and St George City. I love going around the grounds. And that's all the other games in progress. As Kawano looks to keep it central. Praja able to turn. Now, Dorigo will play it backwards. Here's Scott. And Scott overplays the pass. And right as I do my live score update, there's been a goal at the Rudy Hill Turf Farm. So Western Sydney Wanderers 1, St George City 0. Throwing down the line. It's over Aramugo. And Nakano back to the keeper. Aramugo being encouraged to press. That he does, but Kawarden plays it over his head. And then the Rydalmere header out right on halfway. Quick throw. And that's great off the ball movement. So shot from a tight angle. Wasn't too far away. Justin, my eyes are not great. Was that Denton?
Yeah.
So that's Denton. Of course, he can't be offside from a throw. And he knew the game was straight away. And it was a good throw in as well. to find Denton sneaking behind the defence.
King's showing the instincts of our Golden Boot leaders.
Yes. Yes, he is. And Kai Denton, a big part of the reason Northern Tigers are in the position that they find themselves in this mix, this 17 battle for the for first place, the automatic eligible for promotion place, and the second place in this league, which would secure a two-leg promotion relegation playoff with the second last team from NPL at the end of this season. Sparacino down the far side, and the header is not anything that Rydalmere can take advantage of. 1-1 between Northern Tigers and Rydalmere Lions here. It was Rydalmere who took the lead, high pressing, resulting in Adil Tosca rolling the ball over the line for the opener, but in the early stages of the second half, the man who's just played the ball back to the keeper, Koya Nakando, with an Olympico, a goal direct from a corner, 1-1. In case anyone's wondering, as I understand it, it's another tangent, as Kawano looked over the shoulder, but Pintur, decent enough sliding tackle, but he stayed down. Yeah, Pintur will get up, as I said, just wanted to make sure he was okay. But, yes, in case anyone's wondering, as I understand it, the goal direct from a corner is called an Olympico because the first recorded instance of a goal direct from a corner was in the Olympic Games tournament in the 20s, I think. And we use the Spanish word for Olympic because it was by a team from a Spanish-speaking country. Apologies, I can't remember which one. But given how good they were in the 20s, I'm just going to say it was Uruguay. Anyway, that's enough. Let's move forward 100 years to 2025. A bit of a hush over the ground, which is suits the tension of the game, but pleasingly also means there's no win for now.
Got to say, Rydalmere have done a pretty good job at just containing things at 1-1.
Husoi, out of his box, sends it. Nakano battling with Eramugo, and Kerr has gone in late on Ali Brown. As I keep saying this, I'll say this every time I call a game this man's playing, and Ali Brown with one of the greatest ever State League nicknames, the David Silva of the Northern Suburbs. Thank you, Adam Hett, for crediting, because it's a while ago, I'm crediting Adam Hett with coining that one. I believe that's how it got onto Northern Tigers socials. This is like 6 or 7 years ago now, but...
yeah.
A little scoop pass from Praja, looking for Kawano, but Eramugo, we talk about his attacking, but pretty decent defending as well. But exchange of passes, Praja, left side of the box, cuts it back, and it's between teammates. Lloyd timing that late run to the box, as he so often does, but not able to reach that one. As Ollie Scott looks for the Shepherd, and a bit of barging, but... Sophie Allen clearly not bothered by it, and we'll just get on with it. Ooh. That's a collision that has drawn the ire of the referee. Tigers free kick. Justin, you were looking at your notes. Was that for anything in particular? Or?
Just reminding you that it was Antwi who was tracking back on this, right?
Wait, hang on. I've got it.
Back position.
Okay, I'm looking at the boots from now on.
Yeah.
So,
They're both playing in a similar...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
same side. So.
Thank you, John. In fact, there's going to be treatment. Apologies, don't know who that was. That will require treatment, but we're going to take a break. And by the way, thanks, Megan. So the opposite of commentator's curse. She's suggesting pundit's prophecy. Love it.
It is about as far as you can get across the field. Just fire downs. So.
Yes. This is I mean, actually, oddly enough, if I was thinking of places where I'd have to see further than this, strangely, I've never called it this ground, but Hensley Athletic Field. Yes, I'm not, and honestly, despite my well-known ground hopping tendencies, actually not too keen to call it Hensley Athletic Field. To be honest, it's
can't blame you there.
Yeah, no. It's got a running track around it, and stands too far away from the field. So it's far enough from the near side of the field, to be honest.
It's not a ground for the purist football watcher.
Not at all. Now, as Tigers get us back on the way, so if they were short-handed, it was for a matter of seconds. I think all 11 are back on the synthetic turf, as that's a good header from Antwi. Ah, yes, in his pink boots. That's gonna... Yep, okay, got it. The reason I got a bit mixed up, or at least part of the reason I got mixed up earlier with where Aramugo potentially was, as that's cleared by Shalome Taleb, who's actually been a bit quiet since the Rydalmere goal, at least the way I see things, but it'll be as dangerous as ever. And then Dorigo plays it back. Now, Tigers using their right side. Fraser up and over. That's a bit awkward for Rydalmere. Lloyd takes over. And then Tigers pressure keeps it up this end. They go direct, and there is Denton peeling away from defenders, looking for the header, but it's good aerial work from Pintura. Now, another ball aimed at Denton. He turns and shoots, and Hussoy got enough of his body behind it, and no Tigers able to pounce on the rear round. To be fair, Hussoy got a lot on that. It didn't go far away from his grasp.
It was a good point you just made about Taleb quietening. It's
yes.
As the game has dictated, it's been more transitional.
Connor Kerr stole it. Thanks. Sorry to cut you off, Justin, and then there's a flag is up against Aramugo. But yes, sorry, go on, Justin.
Just as I was saying, they've been more transitional. It's not exactly his favourite type of game, but given they had the lead, then that's what they opted for.
Yeah. Now,
the question now is when that changes in the second half as they look to chase the game.
Yep.
Really, draw favours neither of these.
Yeah, it's actually... I did note that the end of season situation, it's one of... It did occur to me that this is one of those situations where you might have both teams throwing the kitchen sink at it, because, yeah, you're right. You look at that table, 1 point doesn't really help, as that is a Rydalmere goal kick. Now, I'll eventually get the story out, yes. And I made that mistake earlier with Aramugo. It's as there's going to be a sub coming on. Ah, yes, because in the first ever game I called for Football New South Wales, Robert Aramugo did actually play as a defender for Bonnyrigg. So I thought it was, I had a little bit of a flashback. Number 19, I think I see a 19 coming on. So it's Carl Sandy, who's coming off for the visitors.
Isaac Cunningham coming on.
Yep. So
recently returned to the club.
Yes. So he was overseas?
Yeah. He left Rydalmere and has come back to Rydalmere.
Yeah. As kind of like as that's a charging tackle, and the Rydalmere faithful love that.
He was close to their player of the season last year as well.
Yes.
Isaac.
So definitely a good option to have off the bench as Brown zings it. A little bit of a heel chop, and then Rydalmere have just enough red jerseys in the way, but the ball out from the back is only as far as Nakano. That's Kawano. That's Nakano. Then Kawano overlaps. Decent enough cross, but Hussoy with a very confident shout, and he catches the ball cleanly.
Just feels like the tempo's risen since that substitute as well.
That's good for us, at least.
Yeah.
Good for the neutrals. Not necessarily good for Northern Tigers or Rydalmere Lions fans of a nervous disposition, but it is what it is. Here's Antwi. Does a shimmy. Then will... Actually, Had to watch the trajectory of that ball. Wasn't sure if it was aiming for the far post. I'd have to say that's a shot that wasn't too far away, Justin.
Yeah, it didn't miss by much. Did it?
Yeah. So, you think, as you said, Isaac Cunningham left Rydalmere and came back. Just like is that like how I left League One men's commentary and came back?
I won't repeat the quote from the yesterday Raiders game, but
Okay.
if you're interested in the outro.
Yes. So, number 14, Tally Sindarigo. It's the end of the shift for him. Number 11, Ryan Attard is on in his place.
One of those names you just associate with the division, Ryan.
Oh, yes. I mean, unless you're me and you remember him as a youngster at Blacktown, but that's I think amongst the media team, that's specifically a me thing. But we'll have our second tier stalwarts. Now, hurl down the line. And then that's a more than decent ball to Attard, who gets his first touch. Lloyd, and a couple of quick passes to put Brown facing forward. And Kawano plays it behind Brown. But smart win there from Attard, and Brown wants it on the left boot. Now finds the overlap. Who's that off last? It's going to be a corner. So, Attard, the impact sub. At least off these first 90 seconds or so, he's been on the field. And
he's another creative outlet as well in this Tigers team.
So that would align with what we were saying earlier. Adam Het knowing they have to go for 3 points through Northern Tigers. Here's the signal. And aimed at the near post. Now, could still be up for grabs. And then kind of cleared into a Tigers player. Franz making it awkward for the visitors. Another long for opportunity, and Kai Denton immediately heading over to the far side. Once again, he will warm up the shoulders. Kai Denton about to do his best Megan Campbell impersonation. If you haven't already, Google Megan Campbell long throw, the Irish international. She's amazing. Anyway, this throw-in ain't bad either, and it's helped on. Almost a shooting opportunity for Praja. Tigers really making a nuisance of themselves at this situation, and the shot, well, that's going to be a foul on Oliver Scott, so that follow-up shot from Lachlan Lloyd would not have counted. Before I forget, thank you to a fellow Football New South Wales commentator, the People's Champion, Nicholas Kutniak. He's did mention some technical issues Justin and I had previous two-person call at Ernie Smith Reserve a couple of weeks ago for a game between SD Raiders and Northern Tigers, but I explained it. He immediately knew what was up, and he's provided some extra equipment, which we are using today to help bring this game to you. So thank you so much, Nicholas. That's why I call him the People's Champion. You should as well. Possibly late on Lloyd, but the Tigers will take the advantage as Brown looks up and delivers low. Great defending from Pintor. It's Tosca who's looking to prevent the ball in from out wide, and he's done so. So good defending from Rydalmere's goal scorer for today's game. Midway through the second half here, Northern Tigers 1, Rydalmere Lions 1. Eric Subihano on the call from the mound at North Taramara with Justin Smith. Rydalmere opened the scoring about half-hour mark through Adil Tosca. Northern Tigers equalised early in the second half. A goal direct from a corner, courtesy of Koya Nakano. Pintor. He tried to put the curl on it to keep it in play, and then a bit of a slice clearance. So Rydalmere attacking throw-in. Perhaps not one for you to answer right now, Justin. Perhaps considering who could we see next off the bench, either team, Tigers or Lions, as Antwi will think about this throw. And Amugo, as it broken up, goes back to Pintor. And across the center circle, Rydalmere go. Sparacino. Played up, and is it a good switch of play? They're well forward here. And then Tigers throw. So,
Good question. I would suggest both coaches would be happy with the team they've got out there at the moment. They've made a couple of it more attacking changes in recent minutes. So.
Okay, well, and it'll be fascinating to see how it plays out. Restart from Carwarden, but it just goes straight out of play. I'll just.
It's worth noting they both are capable of, changing with the players on the park as well, if they're going to really go for it in these final 20 minutes.
Yes. So, just a brief shout out to some of the games you can watch tomorrow on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. So there's the 3 NPL men's games tomorrow, and the action in the men's top tier starts at 3 p.m. with a couple of teams that were very recently in this division. So at Barton Park, St George FC hosts the NPL men's leaders, our friends from the Arctic Circle. That is, of course, Spirit FC. 3 p.m. kickoff in Bankshire there. Also there's some defending for the Tigers to be done, and they've done it well. So also at 3 p.m. tomorrow, the Derby d'Italia from the Palace Marconi Stadium. Marconi Stallions host RPL Leichhardt, and keep an eye on this one if you're interested, because I feel like the venue might change, but scheduled for 6 p.m. tomorrow, Central Coast Mariners versus Rockdale Illingdon. Dribble says Plume Park, but I have zero confidence that that game goes ahead at Plume Park, given the weather that our friends at the Central Coast have experienced in like the last month or so. So that might change to the Illingdon Sports Centre. That's what the whispers I've been hearing, but nothing confirmed as of yet. That's the teams. It has, I think I'm sensing a little bit of a temper drop for now, but as it's going to be a handball call, and it's going against Rydalmere, but I'm sure the tempo won't drop for long. So, well, it's as Praja passes backwards to restart the game. Well, it looks like the Sydney FC youngsters went all the way to Seymour Shore 4-0, because Sutherland are leading Sydney FC by 4-0, and that's very late on in that one in Miranda. And then as Aramuga with a through ball, and it could be a chance, trying to go around the keeper, and it's in. It's in, and just like that, Rydalmere back in front, a clinical finish. And Justin, can you please tell me who scored?
I suspect it's Taleb.
Yeah.
Taleb.
Yeah, we'll go with Taleb for now. A very cool finish.
But it's another example of Rydalmere pressing that press we noted in the first half.
Yeah.
Not the most, not the highest press, but the smart press.
Yes. Yeah.
Where they come. And
often the smart.
Lovely through ball from Aramuga.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because he saw the run immediately. The weight on that is perfect. And the composure, easy to just panic and shoot, given the situation both on the field and in the game. But just a little touch around the keeper and into the empty net. And so it's Northern Tigers 1, Rydalmere 2. We think it's number 10, Ahmad Taleb, who has scored. And if so, yet another goal. In fact, that would mean Aramuga helping Ahmad Taleb catch him in the Rydalmere Golden Boot race. Or the League Golden Boot race, actually.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, another twist in the League One men's promotion race. That's, all the teams that are trying to avoid eligibility for relegation from NPL men's. They're having good times, at least so far. Because at Poppendetta Park, approaching halftime, it's Mount Druitt 2, Wollongong 1. And halftime at the Rudy Hill Turf Farm, yes, Wanderers leading St George City by 1-0. As the header is up and flicks the roof of the net from the Tigers. Oh, by the just as I look at the live score up, back to Wanderers St George City. St George City red card. Yes. Yeah, the ref doesn't think it's offside though, so okay. But you keep thinking it's offside. So now that Rydalmere decision. And Rydalmere, as you'd expect, appealing for a decision that happens right in front of their bench. Pintor. Looks like he'll just play it into the mixer. Decent header. And then cleared into, well, the darkness. Yes. Actually, thankfully hasn't gone too far, so easily retrieved, because, yeah, as you can see, that that grass field that's next to this one, I mean, in addition to being waterlogged, it's now also completely in darkness. Now, that ball, a little bit overhit, so Tigers possession. Just about heading near the final 15 minutes of regulation time, plus whatever additional time Sophie Allen chooses to add. Then this might be the chance for the Tigers to step up as, hang on, interesting, I'm just seeing this one, well, just going to check Tiger, and I think, I was never an elite athlete, I'm not sure, someone, a very quick-thinking Rydalmere staffer has just chucked something for Julian Shalom to have a quick drink, and in that stoppage of play, he's taken whatever he needs to, and he's chucked it straight back to the assistant coach. That's brilliant. That's like a Formula 1 pit stop. I love that. As it's Eramugo, he'll play it through, and it's around the keeper. Tight angle, he thinks and shoots. That's a goal line clearance. So Rydalmere is so close to making it 3-1. I think it was Tyler Begin. Was it
Cunningham?
Oh, Cunningham. Okay. Is that Cunningham? Is that 10 and 18? Okay. I can see where I got that mixed up, to be honest. Yeah, but as I said, my vision's not that good. So, anyway, the end result is a corner. And despite the situation, first job for Tigers, defend this set piece. Now, swung in to the far post. Only half cleared, the shot comes in, but immediately blocked as Tigers step up. And it's going to be Pintor, in fact, tracking back, but somebody was offside. Sorry, I wasn't able to pick up which one of the Rydalmere players interfered with play. Well, currently a tough situation for the Tigers, but we have noted how difficult they've made it for Rydalmere from set pieces, so at least that is something for them to hold on to, Justin. As Carwarden aiming long. It goes over a player from each team. And then Shalome, who is newly energized, I suspect, because of whatever he just drunk.
Yeah, we are seeing Tigers are having to play that ball we talked about in the first half, that longer ball, that riskier pass to get it forward.
So this is another set-piece opportunity. Another in-swinger, possibly. It's the left footer over the ball. Decent as well, but strong at the front post from Rydalmere. Header. And then, well, second ball, Tigers right in Eramugo's face, but it bounces off Scott for a goal kick, and this is the kind of situation where James Hussoy will not exactly feel hurried. 79th minute here, Rydalmere Lions leading Northern Tigers by 2 goals to 1.
Yeah, forgive us for the goal scorer could have actually been Isaac Cunningham.
Yeah, that's true. So, yes, send your complaints to the usual places if I've got another one wrong. Goal.
Forgive us, it's about 70 metres away anyway.
At least it makes me feel, if I have got it wrong, 10 and 18, I could, yes. At least I know how I got it wrong.
Well, 10 and 19.
19,
which makes it even.
Oh, that's worse. Oh, no, it started drizzling again. Time to put the hood back on. umbrellas at the ready for the spectators, the committed spectators. We love to see commitment from people in football, whatever role they have, and yes, we almost, I mean, to be honest, could have been worse. In fact, I have been here many times when it has been worse for commentary, so this isn't too bad, all things considered.
Just adds to the drama for the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. Yes. Looking for the far side. Rydalmere. So Scott is under quite a bit of pressure. Does not really clear it, so it's delivered into the middle. Here's Aramugo, and he scores!
Lovely
Robert Aramugo. Oh, we know he set up the goal to put Rydalmere in front. Now he's doubled their advantage with about 10 minutes left. What do you call that, Justin? A little futsal-style toe poke.
Yeah. And, you know, scenes similar to that, to another game we saw here earlier in the season.
Yes, that's right. Justin is referring to, we were just spectators, but we saw what was that? It was round 9? It's about round 9. About when the weather was so much better. But SD Raiders coming from behind to score 2 late goals to defeat Northern Tigers 2-1 here at North Taramara. Oh, I long for weather like what we had that fabulous day in April. But it's not, only babies get what they want all the time. And substitution has been prepared for Rydalmere. Time to look at all these screenshots. Number 5 is Sahukyang. And Taleb, well, so 5 is generally a defender's number. He's headed straight into defense, so that's Abasad is looking, okay. So possibly defensive midfield, but yeah, Justin, a fairly understandable tactical switch, you'd say, from Rydalmere?
Yeah, definitely. You feel
really
a lot more comfortable doing it 2 goals up instead of 1 goal up.
Yeah, because you'll invite the pressure on, but Rydalmere inviting Tigers' pressure and probably sitting deeper given the change in approach. But yeah, as Justin said, with a 2-goal lead, not a 1-goal lead.
They will take confidence as well in limiting chances, mostly to set pieces.
Great first touch from Kawano, and a little bit of a stumble, but he still has the ball, finds a teammate. Was Attard. Now it's Attard applying the pressure. Rydalmere have got it a little bit forward. Nakano's involved, and Brown plays it back to Mutton so they can start again. James Hussoy encouraging his players to step up because he knows the job is not done yet. Now, I should talk about games coming up when I have the chance, as that is a nice ball, and Nakano is eased away from it by the other number 4. But for Rydalmere, in 7 days' time, they're back at home at Rydalmere Park for a 5 p.m. kickoff against Bulls FC Academy. That's Saturday the 16th. Then on Saturday the 23rd, away to Bonnyrigg White Eagles, 7 p.m. kickoff. And they finish the season Saturday the 30th of August, a 5 p.m. kickoff at home to Bankstown City. Ah, dear. We got most of the game without this kind of rain, most of it. Now, as for Northern Tigers...
And they will end with a chance now, aren't they, with this 3 points?
Yes, they are. Because, the maths, they'd be on to 45 points, would they not? Yeah, it's 45, I think. So, very much in the mix if this, for our Rydalmere, if this result holds. Now, looking up at the Tigers games, and that's one for Pintor to chase, but yeah. Tuesday, 12th of August, 7:30 p.m, away to Bonnyrigg. Then Saturday the 16th, 5 p.m, away to Dulwich Hill. Saturday 23rd, 4:15 p.m, at home to Berries. And they finish the season with a big game, which you will be calling from Kensington, Saturday 30th of August, 5:15 p.m. Northern Tigers away to UNSW at the Village Green. And my God, I hope the viewers are dry, because we're not. But Justin Smith will be calling that game on the 30th of August, the final round game between UNSW and Northern Tigers.
Well, assuming
yes, that's right. Because if there is a more important game, we may ask our broadcast partners at Sportscast to very kindly change the game.
As there has been a substitute.
Yes, there's been a substitution. Look, I mean, that's Lachlan Lloyd will get an early mark. He'll take some shelter. He's one of the few people here that has shelter.
I think it's Lachlan for Lachlan. Lachlan Mills coming on.
Lockie Mills, yes.
Potentially.
Which if memory... I'm trying to remember if it's Lachlan Mills or Sam Mills who's completed the rare Manly United SD Raiders career double. That's not sure. It's not a common one. But think about that later as Brown gets past one player, then Nicola Pintor with a tackle Tory Truemouth would be proud of. Sliding tackle, let's send that into the car park. My first thought, of course, being, is that going near my car? No, is the answer. By the way, while I'm thinking about the Sydney FC and A-League women icon, best of luck to Tory Truemouth and the Australia Under-23s for tomorrow night's game in the Southeast Asian Championship. It's Australia Under-23s against the Philippines. I'm not letting my ethnic background get in the way of any kind of Tory Truemouth fandom for that one, but anyway, that's a issue for tomorrow night. Tiger set piece in the 85th minute.
Gotta
Two
say,
goals down.
Of Rydalmere, aside from, the attacking players who have played tonight, Pintor has been probably their best.
Yes, he has. He's always been in a position to get to affect, to at the very least slow down an attack. I think he's been quite impressive.
Yep.
And player down, and you might call dark arts, but to be honest, given this weather, I think there's something that's actually wrong, because I don't 3-1 up late, but in rain like this, I don't think you'd be sitting down unless you were. Yeah. This one, there might be a little bit less dark arts with this one than might normally be the case. Yes.
Gotta say, there's also a little bit of. There's a puddle in front of us now.
Yes.
Just to.
Yes, that's right. We are. Yes, we've been looking down a lot, Justin and I. So we're just like, yes.
That's the conditions we're in at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. So, there's what Formula One fans would call a lot of standing water. But
well, to make a Formula One reference, they wouldn't be racing.
They would be racing because you can't use the wet tires. Never. Just like, yeah, we're well past intermediate tire conditions here at North Taramara, but. Anyway, I hope Dan Allman is like okay taking photographs as he is. They're the real heroes, the photographers for the wet games. We just stand here and talk. There's the signal. There's two in the wall, and it's another flat delivery. It's defended well at the front post. Now, it might be Pintor telling his players to get forward. Could be a fourth for Rydalmere if they can get the passes right. First touch goes backwards, possibly Tosca, but then it's white and green in the way. And Koano, I think. But we got Sahuk Young, who is helping break up any potential Rydalmere counter. Now, Tigers using the far side. There are options in the middle. The cross is low, and there's a chance. And I think it was Ali Brown making the late run into the box. No. Oh, wow. I mean, okay, can I say, it's so wet that for a moment I didn't recognize Ali Brown. I've been watching this guy for years, so yes, that's how wet it is. Got his left foot on it, but it was straight at Husoi. Well, that's a great run. Could there be a shot at the end of it? No. Tigers end up being strong enough on the edge of their box. It's now in the 89th minute here. And Attard playing it forward, but not forward enough.
They have struggled outside of set-piece situations.
That is a very good point, yeah. It's been an excellent performance from Rydalmere. A job that's almost done. Tosca plays it forward. And Martin has committed the foul on Cunningham. And Cunningham would be well advised to, given the game situation and the fact that we all just want to get home and finish the game. Get home now. Just like you don't. Isaac, don't. Easy. We're all wet. There's no need to be wet and miserable as well. So, this is... So, facing Rydalmere, either a tricky long-range shot. Actually, well, Rydalmere, they're almost all behind the ball, and it's their attacking free kick. So I think you could see they're not looking to take too many risks, the visitors.
To borrow another code's terms, there's 3 players in an offside position here. We're talking about league or rugby.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Yes. Now, I think they're going to go for the shot. So there's 3 in the walls, so set by Carwarden. And it's a decent enough one, which forces Carwarden to plunge to his left. And Rydalmere, they'll definitely take their time. As Aidan Gardner, number 80 for Tigers, is about to come on. And I see Dan Ullman with his little umbrella positioned on halfway, doing his best to huddle underneath that umbrella and keep the water off his camera. So, not much time to be added on. Yeah, apologies. So you can't do much about the umbrellas blocking our view, but it looks like Tigers have seen it out. Just before we finish off, plug for the NPL women's games you can watch tomorrow on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. And the action starts with the latest episode of Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, because Bulls FC Academy captain Liz Gray and her team are hosting Sydney Olympic at Northbridge Oval, 2:40 p.m. kickoff there. Then there's a bunch of women's games at 5 p.m, 4 of them to be precise. The Northern Tigers women's team travel to Lambert Park to take on RPL Leichhardt. Mount Druitt Town Rangers host Newcastle Jets. Sydney University hosts MacArthur Rams. Oh, God, what's that pitch going to look like with the weather we've had recently? Oh, no. And also at 5 p.m.
A good chance of being postponed.
Yes, actually. Or they all moved at late notice. Good point, Justin. And also at 5 p.m. in the NPL women's comp, Western Sydney Wanderers hosting Spirit FC at the Rudy Hill Turf Farm. At the always strange kickoff time at 5:10 p.m, Gladesville Ravens host Manly United at the Arctic Circle. And there's 7 p.m. NPL women's action tomorrow from Sir Ian McLennan Oval. Illawarra Stingrays host University of New South Wales. And as I said earlier, there's also an NPL women's game on Wednesday, 13th of August, with Mount Druitt Town Rangers hosting University of New South Wales. As another plane flies overhead. How much time added on have we had? About 90 seconds, possibly a bit more. Brown plays the ball. France, and it will go back because there was a late challenge. And the card is going to come out, possibly for Pintor. And I compared Nicola Pintor to Tori Trumuth earlier because they both wear number 4, and there we go. He got booked. Just thinking, as they consider this set piece, like, not relevant to this comp, but Sydney Olympic playing the NPL Women's League leaders tomorrow without Aideen Keane, Peter Trimis, or Tiana Fuller. Good luck, Olympic. Have fun with that. And just, well, I'm thinking about women's football. League One women's match of the round tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Valentine Sports Park. Hills United will seal the League One women's premiership if they take 3 points against Central Coast Mariners. And if you hear some emotional Hills United fans screaming somewhere near the effects mic, it's not me. Now right footer and left footed options for this set piece. 4 in the wall. It's Kawano. It's wide. You know what? I've had worse at North Taramara. Just say that in commentary. I've definitely had worse. I'm glad that I have a dehumidifier at home because I'm going to need it, especially for the contents of my backpack. Thank you to Megan for giving me that protective sleeve for my notebook. You know the notebook that I didn't use today. Ooh, it's an awkward one. Bounce possibly for Tigers. They will clear it.
saying that, you wouldn't want to hang around for the 20s game.
Oh
It's
yes,
starting to
that's right.
cool down
I
as
actually
well.
do like. I do like what League One men's traditionally a Saturday 7 p.m. league. I like that a lot of the clubs have swapped first grade and 20s to give first grade the better conditions in the colder months. I think a lot of clubs in a lot of competitions could consider doing that.
Another example of the guys from the Arctic Circle.
Oh
leading
yes,
the way
yes,
there.
the Pioneers.
The Pioneers.
They're into their third season of playing men's first grade. Before men's under 20s and having men's 7:45 p.m. kickoffs at the Arctic Circle. Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's
Both been there.
Oh yeah, we have. We've done. Tell you what. Nakano. Mutton. James Hussoy wants his team to press to the very end, and Rydalmere have indeed won it back. The shout is to take it to the corner. Rydalmere in full game management mode now, and I think their 20s might have a good view of the final piece of action as Sophie Allen blows the whistle. It's 3 goals and a massive 3 points for Rydalmere Lions. They've defeated Northern Tigers by 3 goals to 1, and they've done their chances of eligibility for promotion to NPL Men's New South Wales no harm at all. Rydalmere opened the scoring in about the half hour mark via Adil Tosca. Northern Tigers equalised early in the second half, a goal direct from a corner from Koya Nakano, but it was 2 late-ish goals that sealed the win for Rydalmere. We do apologise because we're not sure that we got them right. We think it's some combination of either number 10 Ahmad Talib or number 19 Isaac Cunningham that have scored those goals. Actually, no. The second goal we think is Isaac Cunningham now on reflection to make it 2-1, and then Robert Aramugo making it 3-1 for Rydalmere Lions. Justin, your thoughts on what we've just witnessed?
Yeah, big win for Rydalmere, keeping their top 2 hopes alive when they really couldn't afford any more slip-ups. And yeah, Northern Tigers now they have a quick opportunity to bounce back midweek on Tuesday. And they're still well within the top 2 race.
That's right, because there's game in hand. They're now, these 2 teams, Northern Tigers and Rydalmere, both on 45 points, 26 games played. So it's time to get out of here and do our best to get dry. So we'll do one last plug for Justin's League One Men's Match Report. That'll be available tomorrow night on the Football New South Wales League's Facebook page. But it's time to sign off. So on behalf of Justin Smith, Football New South Wales, our broadcast partners, Sportscast, and today's camera operator, Daniela, this is Eric Subihano signing off. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of League One Men's. We hope you didn't get as wet as we did watching this game. Take care and see you soon as the final score from North Turramurra Recreation Area. Northern Tigers 1, Rydalmere Lions 3. Good night.